Welcome back to the Diamond K Show here on RadioFire.com. Coming at you from the Radio and Fire newsrooms here in Baltimore, Maryland. Glad that you could join me. And a lot of topics that I want to get into, a lot of things that I want to talk about. This, of course, is I gotta say a sad day as far as the United States goes. Of course, this is 9/11. And on September 11th, here in the States, we definitely think about the lives that were lost back in 2001. When I think about 9/11, September 11th, I was running a record store the day of that tragedy. And it really stood out to me because Jay-Z's The Blueprint came out this day. And this is the first Blueprint, and people were really excited about this album. It's a classic album. He had a lot of things buzzing in the clubs, on the radio, and people were lined up for this album. So we were selling them, and it's early, you know what I mean? And they were ready for the album. And this is coming at a time when, you know, the new records came out on Tuesday. This obviously was a Tuesday, and you know, I had the radio on in the back of the store. TV was also on, but I wasn't back there. I'm selling the CDs, and I'm in a mall. And when the planes hit the towers, it was pandemonium in the mall. And security, they eventually shut the mall down early. But it was sad. Buses stopped running, schools let out, kids out, and just nobody could get where they needed to go. It was really, really crazy. I remember getting back to the house and, you know, accounting for my family and everything. Because we got to keep in mind, we did not know initially that they weren't just attacking random, you know, high-rise buildings. That's kind of what the word on the street was. They have a World Trade Center here in Baltimore, very small compared to the one that was in New York. It's downtown Baltimore. I mean, there was a lot of pandemonium and all of that. And so when I think back to some of the video that we saw, people literally jumping for their lives out of, you know, high windows in the World Trade Center, just a tragedy. And every September 11th, I try to start the shows off on that day, just remembering those people. Whatever you believe happened that day, lives were lost, and the buildings came down, and this country got a little bit more defensive, more scared, more regulations came about, just more surveillance, a lot of things. Airports got a lot crazier after September 11th, 2001, and I wanted to take a few moments just to touch on that. But of course, we're going to talk about John Bolton being fired, resigning, whatever happened there. We're going to talk about him. Antonio Brown, we talked about him and his shenanigans to get to the Patriots and get off of the Oakland Raiders, but he has some more serious problems, and he has been accused of some serious things. We're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about this case that happened here in Maryland where a senior citizen killed another senior citizen. We're going to talk about all of those things here on the Diamond K Show. And I want to encourage you to become a premium subscriber. Show your support for the voice of urban America. That is Radio on Fire. You go to radioonfire.com/join to help us continue to do what we do here in the Diamond K Show daily, 4 p.m. But we have over 20 shows here at Radio on Fire. Everything from sports, news, relationships, current events, adult content, trending topics, hot news, religious programming for those that are into that. All of that. RadioOnFire.com/join is where you go. Now, I also want people to get their tickets for the show, The Play, and the show, The Play Part 2, Keisha's Life. That is an upcoming stage play. It's going to be here in Baltimore at the Arena Players, which is 801 McCullough Street, as I said, in Baltimore. The hit stage play, The Show, is written, directed, produced, and stars Maryland native Megan Roshan. Now, this play is a comedic drama with lots of music from your favorite hip-hop and R&B artists from the 80s and the 90s. The show follows Keisha Jones and her two best friends, Morgan and Tatiana. Keisha has her life all on paper, together on paper, that is, but you just can't seem to pick the right man. The show will run October 19 at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Keisha's Life, the show, The Play Part 2, will debut Sunday, October the 20th at 3 p.m. Keisha's Life will provide the conclusion to the show. Tickets available right now on Eventbrite. And as I said, it is called The Show, The Play, and The Show, The Play Part 2, Keisha's Life. Tickets starting at $25. So I definitely encourage people to, if you want to come out and you want to see good play. A lot of people are into plays, and we're getting into that season, for that kind of stuff. So I encourage people to get involved and check out that. So as I said, we were talking about the football player, and he's somebody who always has to stay in the mix. You know what I mean? He always wants to be somebody that people talked about. He is an excellent player. I don't want to take anything away from AB, and of course, we're talking about Antonio Brown. But he has been accused of sexually assaulting his former trainer, according to a lawsuit that was filed yesterday in the Southern District of Florida. In this civil lawsuit, Brown's former trainer, as I said, Brittany Taylor, accuses the newly signed New England Patriot receiver of sexually assaulting her on 3 separate occasions in 2017 and in 2018. So the Patriots are aware of this. They are trying to take the safe road. And they released this statement. It said, "We are aware of the civil lawsuit that was filed earlier today against Antonio Brown, as well as the response by Antonio's representatives." Okay? They continued, "We take these allegations very seriously. Under no circumstances does this organization condone sexual violence or assault. The league has informed us that they will be investigating. We will have no further comment while that investigation is taking place." So he said this happened. She's saying, Brittany Taylor is saying that this happened back in 2017 and 2018. She says that she thought they were brother and sister. He's saying that they had a consensual relationship. The first alleged incident happened in June 2017, with Taylor saying that Brown exposed himself and kissed her without consent at one of his Pittsburgh area homes. Okay? Now, there are 2 other occasions. So if this happened, right, why would she go back to his home? Why? I don't know. So anyway, Taylor alleges in the lawsuit that he masturbated near her without her knowledge and then ejaculated on her back, later bragging about it in text messages. So we need to see the whole text thread. We need to see her responses. We need to see his responses. This is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly. Now, in May 2018, according to her, after a night out at a Miami area club, Taylor says she went back to Brown's home in Miami to use the bathroom. Why did you go back to his home? Remember, he ejaculated on your back and kissed you and all that kind of stuff, right? So she went back there at a separate occasion. She says that she went to his home to use the bathroom, right? Couldn't find no bathroom in the nightclub. Couldn't find no bathroom along the way. You should not be going to this man's house if the things that she's saying are true, right? And anyway, she says she went back to his house to use the bathroom and get some food. No restaurant. You could use a bathroom in the restaurant. She wanted to use the bathroom at his house. And then he forced her down onto the bed. Why were you in the bedroom? I thought you were there for bathroom and food. This is the situation that he has found himself in. She says that he pushed her face into the mattress and forcibly raped her. Brown's lawyer said that the receiver and Taylor were involved in a consensual personal relationship. Any sexual interaction with Mr. Brown was entirely consensual. I hope he can prove that. And so they said that they will leave no stone unturned, and he will aggressively defend himself, including all of his rights in countersuits. So this is going to get ugly. I don't know how this is going to affect his career as a Patriots, but it's probably going to affect it significantly. She was a gymnast. This is the accuser. She was a gymnast at Central Michigan, where Brown attended college. According to the lawsuit, they met in a Bible study group. Of course they met in a Bible study group. Why wouldn't it be a Bible study group? They became friends, then fell out of touch several years before reconnecting in 2017. And he hired her as a physical trainer. She also said she thought they had a brother-sister type of relationship. The alleged incidents have left her, of course, suffering near daily panic attacks. And $75K is what she needs to feel better. So she said that she has found strength in her faith, her family, and from accounts of other survivors of sexual assault. Patriots were caught by surprise as far as this goes. The team will have to decide how they're going to proceed. This is a messy situation. Okay. Now, Brown was scheduled for his first practice with New England today. Now, one possibility is that Roger Goodell, of course, the NFL commissioner, will place Brown on the commissioner's exempt list. And that would mean that Brown would not be counted on the Patriots' active list while these investigations were taking place. So, if it's not one thing for Antonio Brown, it's another. Goodness, and this is not a good look. This is not a good look. It's almost like, for some people, Stephen A. Smith's probably going to say it's karma for him having this situation. But I think that this situation definitely would have happened regardless. So we're going to talk about Trump, John Bolton, NSA debacle right after this. Beauty and the Beast, the Masquerade Gala, is going to take place on Saturday, October 26th, 6 p.m., 10 p.m. at the Function Co-working Community, 4709 Harford Road here in Baltimore. Women at a Stand will be joining Creative Artists Unite Network to host the first Masquerade Gala fundraiser. And this event is going to bring community awareness and celebrate thrivers of domestic violence. This year's Masquerade Gala theme will be Beauty and the Beast, Unmasking Your Fears. And as I said, this is going to take place Saturday, October the 26th at the Function Co-working Community located 4709 Harford Road here in Baltimore. And there will be keynote speakers, delicious dinner buffet, open bar, live music, silent auction, 50-50 raffle, vendors, and all of this to honor some amazing women. Now, this is a black tie affair. You need a mask, $75 donation for Women at a Stand so they can raise money to continue to provide hotel, food, transportation, and emergency services to victims of domestic violence. It's an excellent cause, and I encourage people to get their tickets or reach out to Women at a Stand. You get tickets on Eventbrite. As I said, Women at a Stand. So, of course, another day, another drama-filled, ongoings with the president, Donald Trump. He fired his national security advisor, John Bolton, via Twitter. He said yesterday that after a string of disagreements over how the U.S. should handle North Korea, Afghanistan, Iran, he is cutting ties with his guy, John Bolton. He announced via Twitter that he asked for Bolton's resignation on Monday night, saying that he disagreed strongly with many of his suggestions. And he said this: I informed John Bolton last night that his services are no longer needed at the White House. I disagreed strongly with many of his suggestions, as did others in the administration, and therefore I asked John for his resignation, which he gave me this morning. Okay? So if he gave him the resignation, did he fire him? Who knows? White House spokesperson Hogan Gidley said that Trump asked for Bolton's resignation on Monday night, and it was delivered on Tuesday. The White House press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, said that Trump and Bolton had not spoken on Tuesday at all. Okay? Bolton himself said in a tweet that he offered to resign on Monday, and that the president said in response they would talk about it tomorrow, which was Tuesday, but he's saying that they did not. He told NBC News via text message, I offered to resign last night. He never asked for it directly or indirectly. I slept on it and resigned this morning. Now, he denies reports that he and Trump got into a heated argument Monday night over the president's plan to host the Taliban leaders at Camp David, which was a horrible idea. Of course, Trump has caught a lot of backlash about that. Now, did I say earlier that it's September 11th? But some National Security Council officials were caught off guard by Bolton's firing / resignation, learning about it when they saw it on TV being reported. So, of course, we heard rumors over the weekend that Bolton and Mike Pence disagreed with Trump's plan to hold a Camp David meeting with Taliban leaders. And that was the last straw for Bolton, according to people familiar with the matter. Now, on Monday, Vice President Pence tweeted that the stories were fake, but Bolton did not. And that, according to officials, made Trump mad. So if you don't lie for this president, then he gets mad. It just reminds me of Richard Nixon so much. But Trump also is being rumored to not want Bolton to attend the UN General Assembly in New York later on this month. And, it's interesting. It's a revolving door there in the White House. But on the other hand, they have so many positions that are not permanently filled. You have interim this, interim that, and this is going to have another interim person filling in for the president. The NSA, John Bolton, out of there. Last story, a 73-year-old Maryland woman was arrested for killing her neighbor 82 years old with a brick. With a brick. Man, we often talk about the violence that is happening around this country, but rarely do we hear stories like this. Over the weekend, a 73-year-old Maryland woman was arrested and charged with first and second degree murder. 73 years old. Now, according to PG County, that's Prince George's County Department, officers were called to an apartment building, and this is in the 5900 block of Emerson Street. And Chung Yong-U called 911, and she confessed to killing her neighbor with a brick. Now, police found U's neighbor in a garden in the back of an apartment building, suffering from upper body trauma. As I said, 82 years old, Hua Chow Pak of Bladensburg. There was some type of a dispute. U struck Pak in the head with a brick multiple times, and she was pronounced dead on the scene. Anyone with information about this incident, call detectives at 301-772-4925. Wow, that is not something that you hear every day. Of course, I'm going to be back here tomorrow, The Diamond K Show. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Subscribe. Continue to support what we do here at Radio on Fire. RadioOnFire.com/join. And I will see you guys tomorrow.